Hello, it's your boy, Salisbury Man, and today we're talking about the pros and cons of if your favorite fighter wins or loses UFC 321. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm just letting you know that if it's in green, it means it's a positive thing. If it's in black, it means it's a neutral thing. And if it's red, it means it's a negative thing. So yeah. So if Tom beats Ciryl, Tom will be an active champion, but it might be for a short time because of Ante Liha. But obviously, Tom's had a year-long layoff and stuff, and has probably had some time to rest. So I think he's now ready to be quite active and get some names on his resume. Also, the certified heavyweight GOAT. I think Tom already is the heavyweight GOAT because of the names he's been and how dominantly and in the fashion he's beaten them. I think he's already a heavyweight GOAT, but if he beats Ciryl, he's heavyweight GOAT. We're not talking about Stipe the Dinosaur and Cain Velasquez or something. I don't even know what he did because I was too young to know what he did. But he was probably a bum. But yeah, Tom Aspinall is the GOAT. No debate, no argument, nothing. Let's move on. Tom Aspinall, I think, is the most interesting champ there is. Like, if there's a guy to be a champion heavyweight, I think he's the most interesting guy currently at the moment. Maybe there's another personality who's very funny or something, I don't know. But I think he is the most interesting champion there is, and the most marketable heavyweight champion there currently is. John Jones versus Aspinall could potentially happen if Tom wins. I still have some hope in my heart that fight does happen. I think it's still one of the biggest fights in MMA, and I still hope it happens. And not John Jones, Tom Aspinall versus Pereira potentially could happen as well. Yeah, that's also, I think, a really sick fight. And if Tom loses, then we're not thinking about Ciryl Gane versus Alex Pereira. That would be a cool matchup, but we're not thinking about that. Tom loses, John Jones' Twitter rant's going to be absolutely crazy. We know if Tom loses, John Jones is going to spin the narrative that he didn't want to fight this guy because he knew he would beat him and he's not interesting guy to put on his resume to beat and stuff. And then we know John Jones is going to be absolutely lying about and making up some nonsense about Tom Aspinall and how he was never scared to fight Tom Aspinall and stuff. That's absolute bullshit. Then Umar Nurmagomedov might kill himself. There's a chance that if Tom Aspinall loses to Ciryl Gane, that Umar Nurmagomedov might kill himself. And I personally think it's a negative thing. If you don't like Umar Nurmagomedov, that might be a positive thing for you, but I don't want Umar Nurmagomedov to kill himself. So yeah, that might be a negative thing which could happen. If Ciryl Gane wins, he's probably going to be an inactive champion. Ciryl Gane likes to film movies, and like in the past 2 years, Ciryl Gane's fought twice. He's not a very active fighter at all, and if Ciryl Gane wins, we might have to wait 6 months until his next title defense. And the heavyweight division is a division which needs a lot of activity and needs to move fast. It's a very confusing division with who's fighting for the title next and all that stuff. So that will not be a good thing. He will be a cool champion. Ciryl Gane's a cool guy. He wears cool outfits. He's with the PSG football players, all that stuff. So I think he's marketable that he's a cool guy, a cool champion. MMA could grow in France. Obviously, that would be cool if MMA grows in France. And there could be a pay-per-view in France. The last fight night in France was really good. So I think there should be a pay-per-view for France, and that could be an absolute banger. And if Ciryl Gane loses, he'll be 0-3 in title fights. Yeah, and he could maybe retire if he loses. If Ciryl Gane loses, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires because he's gonna have to win. He's gonna have to move mountains and bricks in order to get a title shot, because he's already 0-3. He'll be 0-3 in title fight, so he's gonna have to go on a 3-4 fight win streak, which will be quite a lot on Ciryl Gane's life. And then then I was talking about Mackenzie Dern versus Virna something. If Mackenzie Dern wins, I honestly don't know what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen to the world or what's gonna happen in the UFC and stuff. But if Mackenzie Dern loses, she could start on OnlyFans. Yes! Yeah, I'll admit I do want Mackenzie Dern to start OnlyFans. Um, yeah, but it probably won't happen. Like, if like Mackenzie Dern loses and it makes a chance of Mackenzie Dern starting a OnlyFans increase by like 1%, then I'll take that. I'm happy because I still have some hope in my heart. One day she does start OnlyFans, and if she does drop that link, I'm going on that link. I'm clicking that link, and I'm purchasing some content. So yeah, if Virna Jandiroba wins, yeah, Mackenzie Dern might increase the chance of Mackenzie Dern starting at OnlyFans by like 1%, and Virna will accomplish her dream and stuff. Obviously people like bully Virna Jandiroba and stuff online and stuff, and I think like if she wins the fight, then that will be like something to say like F you to the haters and stuff, and like would make her like happy and fulfilled for the rest of her life. Something like that. I don't know. She seems like a nice lady, so it'll be pretty wholesome if she wins. And if Virna loses, then nothing happens. Nothing that I know of. If Umar wins, Umar versus Bautista. Merab versus... I forgot to pin the greens. Merab versus Umar 2 could happen in the future. And I think that's a fight which I would look forward to. And also there's some beef in that fight. There'll be some trash talk, some tension, and I really do wonder how Umar would adjust to Merab's game plan. Because I do think he has a shot of being Merab. I think he could be Merab if they rematch. But yeah, and also Jan versus Umar could happen if Umar wins. Apparently Jan and Umar have beef, and that would be not just the build up, but that fight would be absolutely a technical goon session. Like that's a fight which would be so technical that if you goon to, I wouldn't blame you for gooning to two men fighting because of how beautiful and great the technique of the fighters and the exchanges, wrestling exchanges, boxing exchanges, kickboxing exchanges, how good those would be. I wouldn't blame if you goon to it. And if Umar loses, everyone will talk shit about Dagestanis. Yeah, obviously Muhammad Ankalaev lost recently, and now Umar's gonna. And if Umar loses, then yeah, everyone's gonna start bashing the Dagestani guys and stuff. And Khabib could melt down in the corner. That would be pretty funny. Like if Umar's losing and stuff, Khabib melting down in the corner like. I don't know how to speak Russian, but like when Khabib starts shouting and stuff. Like Emma Gru does a good impression of it. It's like pretty funny. Then if Mario Batista wins, he should fight for the belt. I didn't know this before, I don't think anyone knows this, but Mario Batista is currently on an 8-fight winning streak. If he beats Umar, he'll be on a 9-fight winning streak. And I think if he wins the fight, then when we're talking about merit, he probably deserves the next title shot the most. Also, Shmi will be right. Shmi predicted that Mario Batista will beat Umar. So yeah, Shmi will be right. And Bautista could get love for being Umar. I think people start liking Bautista if he beats Umar. Also, for some reason, Mario Batista speaks exactly like Dustin Poirier. He has like gives off Dustin Poirier vibes and stuff.
Can't wait to go out there and get the job done. So, Umar, I'll see you over there, brother.
Bautista loses, I don't know what happens, but he'll probably have to fight some top 10 guy, maybe like Marcus McGee or something. I don't know, some like NPC from bantamweight. So Volkov versus Almeida. If Volkov wins, then I don't think Volkov versus Aspinall 2 won't happen. I think that's one of the worst case scenarios. Which could happen is that if Tom Aspinall's next fight is against Alexander Volkov, but that's not a rematch I want to see. Also Volkov versus Gane 3 could happen, and that's like a kind of like a fight where it's like there still needs to be certainty who's a better fighter between Volkov or Gane. And if Volkov wins, Volkov versus Blades 2 could happen because Blades is on a winning streak and Volkov will be on like will be on a winning streak as well. Volkov versus Blaze 2, that rematch could happen, and that would be pretty interesting. If Volkov loses, then Volkov versus Lewis 2 could happen, or we could fight a heavyweight bum. If Jason Almeida wins, Aspinall versus Almeida is an interesting fight, and it's a new name for Tom's resume. I think it's an interesting. I think Aspinall KOs Jason Almeida, but I think that would be a great name for Tom's resume, and also it'll be a new fighter for Tom to add to his resume. And Tom might be accused of ducking if he fights Alex Pereira instead. So people are going to be saying, oh, Tom's ducking Jason Almeida if Jason Almeida beats Volkov, especially in dominant fashion, which I don't think would be the case. And if Jason Almeida loses, Pereira versus Tom might make sense. Yeah, if Alex Pereira beats Tom Aspinall, then if Jason Almeida loses, then that fight might make sense. Then Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. If Rakic wins, I don't think it's a positive thing at all. He's already fought Yuri, Ank, and Yan and stuff, so we want a new fresh name in the light heavyweight division. And he also has a boring style, because if he stays in the top 5, we might have to fight a top 5 fighter. But if Azamat gets in the top 5 and fights a top 5 fighter, I think the Azamat fight will be way more entertaining. And if Rakic loses, the Murzakanov era begins. If Azamat wins, it'll be pretty funny because he looks like Homer Simpson. He looks like someone's dad, but he's carrying these guys with 6-packs and stuff. So that'll be pretty funny. There'll be a new contender in light heavyweight division. We getting a new fresh name in the top 5 in the light heavyweight division will freshen things up, and we get some new matchups and stuff. Azamat versus Yuri or Khalil will feed families. If Azamat fights Yuri or Khalil, no entertaining that fight will be. It'll just be an absolute banger. He's an undefeated contender in the light heavyweight division. I think it's good to have undefeated fighters in the top. Undefeated fighters in the top 5 and stuff, because when a casual looks at a card and stuff and they see a guy who's undefeated, they're like, oh, I want to see this guy. And it'll be also interesting. Makes the fight more interesting, because if Azamat loses, then that's his first loss ever. So there's more pressure for Azamat. And if Azamat loses, we lose an undefeated fighter. It's not really negative, but another fight. There's gonna be less fighters who have undefeated records in the UFC, who are in the top 5. And his career might be cooked since he's 38 years old. If Azamat loses, then his career might be cooked. Because if he loses this fight, then it's going to be way more harder and less likely that he becomes a champion or something. And it's your boy Aspinall, I'm out.